back, watch me now.
Hey guys, this is Adrian here, or Tag Animations, whichever one you want to call me, and today is the start of a new series that I'm trying out, a series about how to make a scene starting from scratch. So I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to show people how to make scenes, how I make scenes, and the best way to go about doing them. Recently, let me just show you some examples of some scenes I've just done. I just did this one. This one took about maybe 4 or 6 hours or whatever, but I'm really proud. A lot of good lighting and stuff. And if you look here, this is pretty good too. Probably got to fix up a lot of different stuff because I'm not too happy with the way this one exactly came out. But I'm still proud of the fact that, you know, I got the water the way I wanted it and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of my scenes, a lot of people seem to really like my scenes and always ask, like, how do I do them and stuff like that. So I thought it would be good to just make a, you know, series, help other people out with how to make really nice scenes and really, you know, show that you have really nice skills, you know. So I'm gonna, you know, just go over some of the basics, and each of these tutorial episodes will be 20 minutes long. So if I'm checking here, that's because I need to know, and I don't know exactly. Okay, so when you get started, let me open up a few sites that you probably might need to know about. So project or Minecraft, no, Planet Minecraft is one. So this is a place where you can get texture packs, different projects, different maps and stuff like that. So you can click on projects and you can get just different maps and stuff. And this is how you get your maps. So basically, what I usually do is if I want something that's really nice and I don't want to have to look through a whole bunch of stuff, the first thing I'll do is go to World Seed or MC Schematic. I'm okay with using MC Schematics. Basically, you need a program called MC Edit, and then you import the schematic in, and then you put it into a Minecraft world and save it like that. It's a little bit complicated, but not too difficult. But what I like to do is just keep it on world save because that's the easiest. And you get limited options of just different world saves. And then after you do that, you go down here and you have all these options. Now, I could just do, you know, environmental landscaping if I want that, or, you know, any one of these. But what I like to do is I like to do complex. The reason I like to do complex is because you'll get a lot of different things, mostly like redstone stuff. But if you go, if you go to most popular, if you go to like most popular and stuff, you'll start to see that a lot of these things are super complex, and they provide for really good scenes and stuff because they're really detailed. So this is a really good place to start. At first, and you'll get stuff like this where you can get packs and stuff. And these bundles are really useful too because you can section off these and then start to build your scene just like with a pack. So let's say you downloaded one of these. I already have some stuff downloaded. Excuse me, by the way. Today's not a good day for my allergies. Another thing you want to make sure you have. So we'll go back to Planet Minecraft and. You want to have a good texture pack. New world. Yeah, you want to have a good texture pack. Without a good texture pack, it's just everything will fall apart a little bit. What I suggest is anything above 64 is really good because then you know you'll have really nice graphics. It's 8 times as higher quality, and it doesn't have to be anything, you know, crazy. Like this looks really nice and it's, you know, 64 Well, actually, I don't really like cartooning, but you can tell, you can see what I mean. It's pretty detailed, and it unlike 8-bit, 8-bit just it's nasty. Um, so it's always good to think about higher quality texture packs along with, you know, a really nice map. So once you have those hand in hand, another thing I want to let people know is, where is it? Nope. Nope. So I have all these presets. I should probably just go to my profile. I have all these presets right here, and I will be using most of them for the scenes outdoor, maybe a few for indoor, but not really. Most of these presets and stuff are for outdoor scenes. So if you ever see me using something that you don't know or you haven't seen before, most likely it's part of my preset pack, and that is right here. So yeah, and that's just all these presets combined together in one pack. So go check that out. It's selfie.com/taganimations. And okay, let's get started. So by the way, so again, you want to have a really nice texture pack. Another thing you want to do is, I mean, if you like a couple different texture packs, it's okay to mix and match them to get a different sort of blend to everything. I forget what I used to combine all of them. Oh, I used so if you haven't used Mindways, so Mindways, yeah. There's a program called Tile Maker right here. If you use Tile Maker, you'll be able to see you'll be able to get different, you'll be able to combine all your textures or whatever. So you'll usually get like a block folder. You'll get a block folder like this or whatever in your Minecraft zip or whatever, and what is it, text tile maker or whatever it is, from Mindways. Once you get that, you can combine like all your textures in that folder into one thing, and I think that's really cool. You can even rescale them so that way they're all the same size just automatically. But so what I have here is just a different, like I have Sortex. I think it's a mix between Sortex. Let's see. R3D Craft, I think Sortex, and Sphax Grunge BD Craft. So I really like how it looks. I might edit it eventually a little bit more because I do not like how stone bricks look. And yeah, I just don't. I hate stone bricks for this. So I might change that. Might change this too. But I like the consistency and how good everything kind of looks on here. So yeah. So that's that, and so we're gonna get into Mindways. So once you have that, you pretty much, once you have all that stuff, you unloaded your map, whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So basically, once you load up Mindways, and if you don't know how to get Mindways, you just type it in, and it's right here. And then you click download here for PC or Mac. So once you download Mindways, you get to open a world if you have it already in the thing, or I'm just gonna open custom. And this is for the Captain Sparkles animation. So I'm gonna show you, this is kind of like a sneak peek of how I do this stuff while I'm working on it. So I think that kind of brings a different level to it because I'm actually working on something that you guys get to be seeing in a tutorial. So I think that's pretty cool. Not many people do that. So so basically, once you have your map or whatever, you click this thing called level dat, and then you'll come up with something like this. Now on my team I have really nice builders, so they can kind of recreate whatever. So they made me a little thing for Captain Sparkles stuff. Actually, I do not want this one. Actually, I do. Okay. This is going to be an indoor scene tutorial. Okay. So basically, so once you select it, you got to right click to select, and then you just drag. So you select whatever you need to select or whatever. You go to set terrain file, and that's going to be the texture pack thing that you made. Click it, bam. I use 512 textures, by the way, so it's really high quality. I really love it, so it's always good to think about that. And then you can export it. I've already exported this, so I'm not going to do that, but then you just export it and save it and let it run. Once you've done that, you open up Cinema 4D and you just open up what you need to. So the OBJ file, open it, and then put the scaling to 1000. So I'm going to open this, press yes, and then you put this to 1000. Okay. Okay, so this is where we kind of go. We have 10 minutes to just talk about some of the things that you do to get started with this. So now that we have this scene, thanks to my builders for recreating some of this stuff. It's really cool what they do. So now that we have this scene, right, what you want to do is make sure, what I always do is I take this and I group it. So that's Alt-G on the keyboard, or yeah, Alt-G. And so now you have all this stuff in one. And I also remove duplicate just to, get away from all the space. And last but not least, I like to save. If you don't save beforehand, you're just going to have to do all this beforehand. So make sure to save a lot. It's very, very important. And last thing I want to do, actually this is an outdoor scene. Last thing I want to do is take away the water. Now, there's a reason for taking away the water. A lot of people might say, oh, you could just put a texture on it or put, something on it, a material or something, and then bam, you have really nice water. No. A lot of people think that's okay, but it's not okay because, no. You want to have water that's not from the actual thing. If you use water from the thing, two things will happen. One, since it's a cube, even if you put a texture or material on it, it's not going to give realistic lighting because the bottom layer is blocking whatever's down at the bottom, if that makes sense. So it's not going to provide you a full demonstration of realistic, nice lighting and stuff. And that's why I used my ocean preset, or why I made it in the first place, because I just, I didn't really like it. So that's always something to keep in mind. You can always put a texture on it or a material, and that's fine. But for this tutorial series, I'm just trying to go with what I know and what I do, and I don't do that. So always something to keep in mind. So now what you want to do is you click on this, then you click on that, and you want to open whatever it is, wherever the textures are for the OBJ. So the textures are right here. You click RGBA. This is really important. If you do RGB, then you're going to have to load this file too. If you do this one, you can just use this one forever. I don't know why there's two, but it's just for some people who want to have it and some people who don't. So click that, and you'll notice all the color fills in any second now. There we go. And you see all this redness. That's going to go away in a second. Good thing to turn off specular. I'll talk more about that later on because there are some cases where you do have to turn it back on. So just remember that. Turn on alpha. And then you could just click this arrow here, go to bitmaps here, and turn off MIP. And now you have transparency inside stuff like your leaves and your grass. I think that's pretty much it. Your leaves and your grass. Okay, so now that you've done that, you can see all this red stuff. That's really nasty. We don't need that. So we're gonna put this to whatever your texture size is. Like I said, 64 by 64 and up is really nice, and you can see how they don't have anything under 64. That's because Cinema 4D doesn't really like 8-bit, in my opinion. Otherwise, they would have had 8-bit on here, but I can choose 512, and it'll lag for a second and then it turns kind of normal. And you can see all that redness is a little bit gone. Not really because the tops are like this, but trust me, that doesn't say. It's just transparency. Okay, and if you have my pack or any of my presets, let's go consolidated. And then we're going to load up the animation settings. Basically what the animation settings are, basically global illumination is all the way low, and then, you know, just regular render settings. So then we're going to click save now that we've done all this. And we have 5 minutes left to talk about some other stuff. Okay, so now that you have your scene, everything looks nice, you don't have any water yet, and you don't really have anything else. Basically, what you have to do next is create, like, what is it, 3 or 4 copies, depending on your scene. If there's stuff like glass and stuff, you probably want 4 copies. So we're going to leave it at 4 copies. Oh, was there a cave here? Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know there was a cave. Okay, so 4 copies, right? You guys are probably asking me, why 4 copies? It's so weird. I'll tell you why. You want to name this one something like Reflection. You want to name this one something like Transparency. And you want to name this one, what should you name this one? I don't know what this one would be exactly yet. Just because this scene doesn't really use much of anything else. And there might have to, I guess the 4th one would just be instances where you want to separate stuff. So if you want some things to look a little bit less reflective, but not everything, then you'd make a few more copies of this. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to just search out things. What do we have in our scene that could realistically be reflective? And then you just search down. You don't want to do coal ore or like the irons ore or anything. You never really see ore in your scenes. And if you do, you still don't really want to use it. If you do, you can just apply the same texture, but as we go on to bigger scenes and stuff, I'll show you more about how that will go. We have gravel, sand, wooden planks, grass. So actually nothing in our scene really needs transparency or reflections. So I'll leave that to later on, but basically what I would do is if there was anything that was transparent or needed reflection, I would put some reflection on. Actually, we can put it on, let's put it on the stone bricks over here, okay? So actually, there will be some reflections. And yeah, I can't think of anything for transparency. So we'll come back to that in a later scene. But usually I keep reflection around 10 to 30. Yeah, 10 to 30 for reflection. That's usually pretty good. And then you find stone bricks, or anything really stone, and you just drag it up to here. So now your stone bricks will now have reflection on them. So if I go here, turn off global illumination so that way I don't have to do anything, and I render that really quick, you'll see that some of this might have some reflection, maybe not so much. Let me up that so that way you guys can see. It's more noticeable if like somebody's walking down the steps or you have more light. Since there's not really any light, you're not going to be able to see it that much, which kind of sucks, but I'll let you guys know later. And you can see it's right here. You can see there's some reflections here. There's a little bit right here trying to show the next step. So stuff like that really brings a better element to your scene if you know how to use it right. Now if you add like some Fresnel and stuff, you'll get a little bit more realistic reflection, but that's kind of how you do that. So now that we have some reflections in our scene and we have we have all our textures and stuff, Now we can get into some of the environmental stuff that we could do. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. So, I see you guys. Talk to you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys love this. Like, favorite, whatever you have to do. Thank you. And let's get to it. See you guys next Monday.